and Amelia Santinello.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 13th annual TCF Holidazzle Parade. I'm Amelia Santinello.
And I'm Don Shelby. Once again, WCCO TV is proud to televise the kickoff of this wonderful holiday event for the entire family. For the first time, we've expanded our coverage to a 1-hour special.
And we've got our CCO team of anchors up and down the Nicollet Mall to give you a preview of tonight's parade. Let's go out into the crowd where hundreds of people are waiting to the start of the parade, including our own Paul Douglas. I hear something.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi.
Hi, Don. Greetings from street level. Nice to be with you, and an especially handsome crowd behind me, folks from Elk River and St. Paul and all the way from Minnetonka coming down here to check out the Holidazzle Parade. We sure appreciate that they stopped by. We have some very special kids from the Children's Home Society and Family Services, and look up here. Check out our weather window, and you notice the smallest stocking belongs to Don Shelby. And I think that's for a good reason. These kids are very, very cute. We're going to be hearing more from them here coming up in just a few minutes. And we have a bird's eye view from Brits. You can get a better sense of what this is like. Most of the rain now has tapered off. Just a few sprinkles right on cue. The weather is looking up. Now out on the crowd causing trouble, our very own Mark Rosen.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Most of the events I cover are in a dome stadium, so it's so much fun to be outside with these hardy fans. Been lined up here for about an hour. We have a family tradition here. They've been sitting on mats and sleeping bags. We have carpet remnants. Little 5-year-old Maria's ready to go. Are you excited about the parade? Yeah! And, of course, we're right here by the first floats as well. So these fans are really fired up for some Holidazzle. Are you ready for some parade? Absolutely. And we look down here. This is the official lineup here for the first floats down here as well. I get the chance to talk to Governor Pawlenty, official man of the hour, of course, on the first float as well. Right now we're going to go to Dennis Doda, who's inside, I believe. Denny?
Mark Rosen, Holidazzle veterans know that on nights that are sub-zero or nights that are a bit drizzly like this one, you head inside of the Skyway. I'm up here above 9th and 10th Streets on Nicollet Mall in the Skyway. Look at that beautiful view we have as the parade approaches us, then gets near and then passes beneath and heads on down to the other side. We can see front and back of the whole beautiful glittering parade. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of folks have staked out their seats here as well. A little bit later on, we're going to hear from Minneapolis Mayor R.T. Ryback, and we're going to hear from some of the kids about their reactions to the beautiful floats. Don and Amelia, back to you.
Dennis, how much did you have to pay the news director to be inside today?
Well, there was a little bribe going on. There's something about lunch and, I don't know, perhaps cocktails to be named later.
Oh, cocktails. Okay.
Yes, I had to dig deep for this prime spot right here.
All right, we'll be back to you later on, Dennis. This is just the first night of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. There are 20 of them scheduled between now and December 23rd.
And with that many parades, there is a lot of preparation that goes on behind the scenes. And our own Brian Goddard, who you wake up to each morning during the weather, had a chance to find out what it takes to bring this fairy tale parade to life.
The dazzling lights, the festive floats, the costumed characters. It can only mean one thing. Time again for the Holidazzle Parade.
Hey, Santa!
Minneapolis is the only city in the country to host a series of parades during the holiday season. It's all possible because of support from local companies.
Each night we have a sponsor that provides 200 volunteers. Over the 20 nights of the parade, that's over 6,000 people in costume.
With the cast of characters constantly changing, the action behind the scenes can get rather hectic. So all volunteers arrive at the Hyde Hotel about an hour before parade time.
Snow Mama, Snow Papa.
Is that where we are?
Yep.
Once checked in, it's time to get dressed and lit. And for many WCCO TV employees, it's an annual tradition to be part of this fairy tale fantasy.
Hi, I'm Little Bo Peep. It's a wonderful team building experience. I mean, you see the #1 guy in the building in a costume along with the guy who sorts the mail. I mean, it just brings everybody together.
Family members can also volunteer to be characters in the parade. Kids especially love to participate.
Well, besides the costumes, of course, there are the floats. And new to this year's parade, Holidazzle, the official mascot of the parade. Not quite done yet, but by parade time, over 8,000 lights will be on them. And inside, of course, that's where the drivers sit, where they can do those traditional spins that you're so used to seeing the Nutcracker do during the parades.
For the float construction crew, it's a challenge to get over 500,000 lights to burn brightly. This year, float designer Michael Murnane and staff are working on some new fiber optic technology. It's going to be a tedious process, but well worth the effort when it's showtime.
It's really pretty fun to see
10, 20, sometimes 30,000 people downtown on Nicollet Mall, waiting for the floats to go by. People cheer, lots of rosy-cheeked kids, you know, that kind of stuff. Just kind of warms you.
Thanks, Brian. Every year, people want to know how they can volunteer to be in the parade. Well, because of sponsors, it fills up pretty quickly. But there is a standby list.
Yes, it's first come, first served, beginning at 5:45 p.m. at the Hyatt, and this is the best way to get into the parade on a moment's notice.
Now, don't go away. We'll be back with much more from the TCF Holidazzle Parade right here on WCCO TV.
This WCCO broadcast of the Holidazzle Parade is brought to you by the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, Old Chicago Restaurants, and Gavaday Common.
TV's live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. The parade will begin in about 15 minutes, and the crowds are continuing to grow.
As usual, when Holidazzle started 13 years ago, the goal was to create an event that would bring families downtown during the holidays, and it sure seems to be working.
It certainly does. Many people come down early or stay late to go shopping and have dinner. Neiman Marcus and Gavaday Commons are some of the downtown businesses sponsoring our broadcast tonight. So Karen Lee, our new morning anchor here on WCCO TV, checked out some of their unique gift ideas.
Shops, the restaurants, the festive window displays. Holidazzle isn't the only draw to downtown during the holiday season.
We actually have several exclusive jewelry shows that will be going on right before Christmas. They're fabulous things to be purchased at Neiman Marcus, including the exclusive, famous chocolate chip cookies that come in a tin. It's amazing. We have wonderful men's small gift items, gloves, we have Paul Smith cufflinks, we have fabulous scarves from Paul Smith, we have Gucci accessories that maybe are added to a wonderful cashmere sweater. A very fun item for favorite little girl. It's pink, zebra cushioned, motorized scooter.
And this year, getting downtown to stores like Neiman Marcus is made much easier by the light rail. Park at one of the convenient park and ride lots at Fort Snelling, Lake Street in Hiawatha, or the new 28th Avenue station in Bloomington, which opens December 4th. Get off at Nicollet Mall Station, and Neiman Marcus and Gavaday are right across the street. If you decide to drive and park downtown, many of the downtown businesses like Neiman Marcus and Gavaday Commons participate in the Do the Town parking program. Gavaday even offers valet service.
You park any day after 4 or at any time on Saturday or Sunday. Spend $20 or more on anything in our food court or at any of our fine shops, and your parking is free. Just another one of the many ways that we encourage people to come downtown and shop. And also, we've created a program, a partnership with one of our newest downtown neighbors called Give the Gift of the Guthrie at Gavaday. We encourage you to come on down and learn more about it.
From purses to perfume, trinkets to treasures, it's easy to find something for everyone on your list. And at the end of the day, when you're all shopped out, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice cup of cocoa.
On camera.
It's a wonderful place to shop down there. You know, you got any gift ideas from that?
I have a few, yeah. I like that pink Vespa.
Okay.
For me.
Put that on your list.
Once again, let's head back out to Paul Douglas, who's at the WCCO TV weather window with some special guests.
That's right. Hi, Don. Hi, Amelia. Cold rain falling again. Prefer to think of this as a warm snow. I'm out here with some very special kids. This is the Children's Home Society and Family Services Choir. Let's listen. They're getting into it. Yes. Beth Naughton is here. CCO very proud to be part of the Red Stocking campaign. What exactly is this for people at home who may not know?
Well, thanks to WCCO TV, you have helped us raise awareness and really raise a lot of much needed money for the programs and services of the agency, including crisis nursery, child care, adoption services, and many other really critically needed family building services. And we really thank you for your partnership and support through the years.
And these kids are just precious. They could not be any cuter.
Thank you very much, Paul. Many of them have come to their family through adoption, plus a few of their friends joined them in the choir tonight, too. So we thank you for letting us be here with you.
They're braving the rain. These are great kids. Thanks so much for braving the cold rain, which will be snow within about 12 hours. Back to you, Don and Amelia.
Thanks, Paul. And they sound great, don't they? They're so cute. There's much more of the TCF Holidazzle Parade coming up here on Channel 4, so don't go away.
Our special of the TCF Holidazzle Parade.
We're counting down to the parade, which will start in about 7 minutes. So let's check in with our guy in the Skyway, Dennis Doda.
Yeah, the crowd is growing on and above Nicollet Mall. We're up here between 9th and 10th Streets on Nicollet Mall, and you can see the folks in here without the umbrellas, but to pan down to the street, the crowd is filling in pretty nicely here. A lot of umbrellas, of course, are part of the fashion tonight. You know, a lot of folks come down here to take in holiday events near downtown. One very special exhibit is at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, another proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast, and this exhibit is called Holiday Traditions. And our new WCCO morning anchor, Bill Hudson, can give us a special preview right now.
Now, in its 53rd year, the Holiday Traditions celebration at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts continues to delight visitors with holiday customs and sights from other times and places. The period rooms display trees and decorations, as well as savory faux food to give visitors an idea of holidays past. The museum's period rooms are decorated to reflect 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th century holiday traditions in the United States and England. Costumed guides will lead free tours of the decorated rooms now through January 2nd.
Hope you come and see the department store packaging in the Bell Decorative Arts Court during Holiday Traditions. We have bags and boxes from the 1930s to the present, and we hope they remind you of all the shopping in downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul.
As stores began to see packaging as an extension of their identities, they looked to designers for more attractive wrappings. Look for packaging from historic Twin Cities fashion-forward retailers such as Young Quinlan, Field Schlick, and Dayton's, as well as designs from other local shops, all on display now.
We've added exciting new elements and events for the whole family. This includes festive weekends throughout December, music, beautiful decorations, and other seasonal happenings, and a Victorian Santa that the kids can have their pictures taken with. So bring your camera and have a great time.
The best part is there's always free general admission to the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. The museum is open every day except Monday, and open until 9 p.m. every Thursday. For more information, call 612-870-3131 or log on to their website at artsmia.org.
One of my favorite places in town to be.
Oh, definitely.
And a great
Yeah,
place
it's
to take the
wonderful.
family as well. Sounds like the Institute is a great stop to add if folks are planning to come downtown for the parade.
Yeah, there's another wonderful holiday event coming up that offers people the chance to give to those in need. For the second year now, Old Chicago and Rock Bottom Restaurants, who are also sponsors of tonight's broadcast, are preparing for a huge Christmas celebration for some very special people, and it's called the Minneapolis Miracle.
This particular event is just one of many. It's part of our continuing commitment to fight hunger and homelessness in the communities that we operate in. The Miracle is an event on December 25th where area Old Chicago's and Rock Bottom here in Minneapolis get together, and we send buses out to area shelters, bring them back to the restaurant here. It's a great meal that we serve to their table. There's a Santa here for the kids. Of course, everybody gets a bag of toys. All around, it's a great family event for some people that might not otherwise have the kind of Christmas that maybe you and I are used to.
This Christmas, it is expected that 1,200 homeless and displaced families will benefit from the generosity of Rock Bottom and Old Chicago employees, its sponsors, and volunteers.
Volunteering last year was probably one of the best experiences of the Christmas season for me. When you first come, you expect to make this huge impact on people's lives, and you kind of neglect the fact of how awesome it's going to be for you and how touching it is for your life.
The Minneapolis Miracle, to me,
means that there's people out there that really have a marvelous love in their heart to give out to those that don't have any hope, and there's a lot of people that don't. So the Minneapolis Miracle to me was a beautiful example of what giving of the heart means, and that meant a lot to me, so I could tell other people about it.
You can help to make a miracle in Minneapolis by visiting any area Old Chicago restaurant, dropping off a new unwrapped toy for a child age 1 to 18. While you're there, purchase a holiday gift card, and 10% of the cost will directly benefit the 2004 Miracle on Christmas Day. It's really a great cause to give during the holiday. You know, Minnesotans are just so generous.
So
it never ceases to surprise me.
So maybe it isn't such a miracle that it happens in Minneapolis.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Now stay right here, because when we return, it is the official start of the TCF Holidazzle Parade.
Woohoo!
Welcome back to the kickoff of the 2004 TCF Holidazzle Parade.
All right, this is it. The parade is about to get underway, starting right outside our WCCO TV studio at 11th and Nicollet Mall.
All right, now leading off this entire event for the opening night is the parade banner, which features Marshall Fields. Now, every year, they sponsor the very first parade, and as always, you can hear the cheers arise from the crowd as the parade begins. And many of their employees will be dressed up as the costume characters walking down the mall and riding on the floats.
Now, the first float of the night is the TCF Fanfare float that we're going to see. This is the 5th year that TCF Bank has been the title sponsor of the Holidazzle Parade. And you know that fanfare float always carries the celebrity Grand Marshal. And tonight it is Governor Tim Pawlenty and his family. See the First Lady, Mary Pawlenty, back there with an umbrella. And our own Mark Rosen is on board with them. How's it going?
Oh, we're loving this, Amelia and Donna, with Governor Pawlenty, who's, of course, the Grand Marshal tonight. And Governor, great way to kick off the holiday season.
Well, what a great Minnesota tradition. That's part of what the holidays are about, is tradition, and the Holidazzle has become part of that tradition.
A lot of hardy people waiting a long time for the start of this parade. Now, a little rain's not going to slow them down.
In Minnesota, no way. We don't stop for blizzards or certainly not a little rain and 35-degree temperatures. This is beautiful.
Well, this is the start of a great season. But what message did you have to your fellow Minnesotans about the entire holiday season?
Well, you know, it's just a time to be thankful for what we have. We live in the most prosperous free country in the history of the world, and even though we have our challenges, we got to step back and put it in context and say we are really fortunate to live in this country in these times. And a special thank you, of course, to the men and women in our military. I'm sure they're homesick this time of year, so if you can drop them a note or a card or a gift or something, I know they'd appreciate it.
What kind of nice family traditions you guys have this time of year?
Well, we have, of course, the usual traditions, but in our family, we have a Christmas Day ball hockey game. Last year in the governor's residence parking lot, the elbows and the knees were flying, so there wasn't a lot of Christmas or holiday graciousness there.
Well, get that wave done. You got a lot of work with your family ahead of you here. We'd like to have a lot of fun tonight.
Well, we're looking forward to it. The family's pumped up, so we're ready to go. But happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you, Governor Pawlenty. Back to you guys.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much, Mark.
I know the governor was talking about the parade being not canceled, but the Holidazzle Parade is not canceled unless the temperature and the wind chills combined are 25 below zero or colder.
Or a hurricane.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that
or
could
something
happen.
or severe weather conditions. Yeah, and only a few parades have actually been canceled.
Well, he's talking about the great Minnesota tradition of the family events, and that's the reason Downtown Council started this event in the first place. Now, coming up next is the Circus Train, presented by Cub Foods and American Express. There are 13 floats altogether in tonight's parade. And as you'll see, this one is the longest. From beginning to end, it measures, listen to this, 82 feet.
That's great. You know, the circus train features 5 cars filled with all kinds of colorful circus animals. Now, this is just one of the units that offers kids a chance to be in the parade, and they all get to dress up as snow monkeys, giraffes, elephants, sea lions, and some tigers out there.
And the kids get to ride inside the cars as well, while several adult clown characters walk alongside. This year, the Circus Train unit has introduced 4 new hobo costumes featuring tuxedo hats and tails with hand-sewn patches. Ooh, look at those scary hats.
Yeah, there's also Strongman and Ringmaster, plus the baggage tug that's been redesigned to look like a train engine. Hopefully we'll see that in a little bit.
Well, there's a giraffe in there, I see. There's an elephant, a blue one, another giraffe, a tiger. and the caboose. What a pretty locomotive.
You know, every year more than 500,000 people come downtown to see the Holidazzle Parade from the day after Thanksgiving until the end of December. And as we mentioned earlier, this year there are 20 parades.
What a thrill of a lifetime for a kid to be dressed up in a parade.
I know. You know what? I'm doing that with my son, my oldest son, Sam, this year for the WCCO Day. Looking forward to that. We'll find out. Maybe Paul Douglas can tell us what the weather's going to be like on December 9th. Can you go that far out?
Changeable. It'll probably be colder than this. This is actually 10 degrees warmer than last year for Holidazzle.
Really?
Yeah, the wind chill last year was like 12. So I know the weather's kind of stinky right now, but it could be a heck of a lot worse. Please keep that in mind. A lot of people literally, they don't have enough food to eat. A very special float here behind me, and we hope that when you come down to check out Holidazzle, that you'll bring along some food. Lisa Dindorf is here from the Minneapolis Downtown Council to talk to us about the need. And Cub and American Express have done a great thing here. Last year, $68,000, 4,000 pounds of food. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. It's really important during this wonderful holiday time that people remember those in need, and this is a great way to do that. Easy to do. Bring cash or non-perishables down, and when the carts go by, drop the food in.
Now, you're going to show us how to do that. There is a correct way to drop this into the cart. Okay, ready, go.
Then, 2 great multi-meal products, easily accessible at Target.
You made it look too easy. Lisa Dindorf, thank you very much. We hope you'll remember those folks who need this food when you come down to check out Holidazzle. Don and Amelia?
Thanks very much, Paul. Thanks, Lisa, and another great job this year from the Downtown Council. Next in line is the Mother Goose float presented by Malto Meal. This colorful float showcases many of your favorite characters from the familiar nursery rhymes. There's Little Bo Peep, who lost her sheep, and Little Miss Muffet, who sat on her tuffet. I'm not sure what a tuffet is. And, of course, Jack and Jill, who both went up the hill.
Now, this float has spectacular lighting, some really fun costumes, and a calypso song with a south of the border beat. Each float in tonight's parade has original music written especially for TCF Holidazzle.
And besides familiar faces on the float, there are several other Mother Goose characters walking alongside the street. Let's see who's out there tonight.
I thought I saw the 3 little pigs. Well, there's Jack and Jill right there.
Right.
They're the 3
And
little
Mother
pigs.
Goose.
3 kittens who lost their mittens. Oh, look, 3 men in the tub. Rub-a-dub-dub. These costumes, along with all the others in the parade, were created by costume designer Tiffany Clem and her staff.
I want to be in the Christmas light parade costume if I ever do this. Or otherwise,
want to be a light.
Otherwise, I'd like to be in the tub. Well, as the parade makes its way down the mall, we're going to take a short break and be back with much more of the TCF Holidazzle Parade right here on Channel 4.
All right, welcome back to WCCO TV's live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. You can see the train making its way down Nicollet Mall. Nice and wide shot there.
Yeah, it's the first time we've had a camera up in the skyways right now. And Dennis Doda will be telling us a little bit more about that coming up. For this next unit, get ready to follow the yellow brick road. The lovable Wizard of Oz characters and float are presented by Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine.
Yes, and this group is always a crowd pleaser. There's the familiar foursome, including Dorothy, the Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man. Plus, don't forget that wicked Witch of the West there. She's riding on the bike. I don't know if you saw Dorothy. There's Dorothy right there in the right-hand corner of the screen.
And she has a brand new outfit this year, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's completely remade with new leggings and shoe covers.
Look at this beautiful float. The Wizard of Oz float follows right behind the characters every year, and it showcases a sparkling yellow lighted road and a glowing green land of Oz. Riding aboard are some of the Munchkins. There's also a special video projection system featuring the wizard himself. This is the only float with a video broadcast technology. 3 of your Munchkins are watching the parade tonight,
Yes,
aren't
they are. They're at the station watching this. I'm sure they're enjoying this. We just watched The Wizard of Oz on TBS the other night.
What's the favorite part?
When it turns to color.
Right.
For the kids.
Right. But the scariest part's when the monkeys come flying out of it.
That is
They hate
scary.
that, don't
Yeah.
they?
I didn't notice. They don't have monkeys on this float, do they? Well, next up, it is the Princess and the Pea float presented by Select Comfort, you know, which is one of our news director's favorite float. Jeff Kiernan, I think, really likes this float. This fairy tale float is decked out with thousands of lights. It features the princess in a restless slumber high atop a stack of mattresses. And under there somewhere is the little pea that keeps her up all night. Wonder what her sleep number is.
Now, you don't actually get to see the pea
No, you don't.
because it's under the mattress.
It's way under that mattress there,
Yeah.
I'm liking this song, though.
Specially written for tonight's show. Once again, this float has the original song, a special blues tune sung by the wonderful Debbie Duncan. Listen to this.
Love Debbie Duncan.
Won't somebody help me, mama? Won't somebody help me, please? Now the queen said I could stay here if only for the night.
Now, walking alongside the float, you actually see several footmen along with Romeo and Juliet. I don't know if you saw that in the shot before.
As we said before, Dennis Note is up inside the skyways where it's warm and dry and
There's
toasty.
a special guest.
I'm here with a powerful man tonight. We're pleased to have with us the Honorable Mayor of Minneapolis, R.T. Ryback. You're very proud of this event, Mayor.
Well, it's a great event. You know, we've come here since our kids were little, and it's a lot of fun for families. But last year, my wife and I started a new tradition. We came down ourselves, got a good table at Zeno, and just sat in the front row and watched it. So it's good for people of all ages.
We have some veterans here who know that if it's raining or it's sub-zero, the skyways are a nice place to be. You say a lot of folks come downtown to see this parade for the first time, and they're amazed because their image of downtown Minneapolis may not quite live up to the reality. They may not know just how great it is down here.
Well, I think that's one of the fun things about Holidazzle is that people will come down and then they'll realize, oh, hey, I can shop for free at Target if I buy 20 bucks, or Connie Evenson's playing at the Dakota tonight, or I can shop at Neiman's or Marshall Field, and all of a sudden downtown gets demystified a little bit. It's really one of the best downtowns in the country and a great place to come, and especially during the holidays. It's a great tradition.
And before we go, your favorite float in the parade?
Well, I'm kind of a big fan of the people who wear the stars. I wouldn't mind trying that sometime on a real dumb day. I wouldn't mind walking around in one of those lit up things.
It is.
It's a great time. So.
Our volunteer-driven parade, it is a lot of fun because it's a parade for Minneapolis by Minneapolis folks. So we're glad to have the mayor with us. We're going to go back and watch some more of the parade down on Amelia. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Dennis.
Look at this. Look at this. We have got the newest addition to the TCF Holidazzle Parade. This, ladies and gentlemen, this gigantic snow person is Howie Dazzle, the official Holidazzle mascot.
Yes, and as you can see, Howie is a giant snowman, doodlebug, all decorated from head to toe in state-of-the-art fiber optic lighting. And the fiber optics were supplied by Advanced Lighting in Sauk Rapids and created by Spangler Design Team.
Now, this is for the first time in parade history. This really is new technology we told you about a little bit earlier in the first program. It's being used to transform Howie's lighted exterior from dazzling white to a brilliant blue. Now, you saw in our pre-show, a driver sits inside Howie and is able to spin and twirl him around in circles. Kind of like a doodlebug.
Like a doodlebug, and he's getting a great reaction from the crowd, too. They seem to love him. Walking with Howie are 5 semifinalists for the TCF Home for the Holidays sweepstakes. And at tomorrow's parade, one of them will win a $290,000 Keelan Design home.
One of the things I like most about the parade is every once in a while you get to pause and listen to the great sounds of marching bands. And every night during the parade, WCCO 4 TV is proud to present a different marching band from the metro area. Tonight, it's the Minnesota Freedom Band. This year, the marching band has new uniforms featuring capes with red and white stripes on the inside lining. As they march along, you might be able to see the swoosh of the red and white candy stripes. Let's listen. We're back with WCCO TV's live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade.
Well, we had Alice in Wonderland that just went by in the parade, and coming up next is the Ready, Set, Read float presented by Target. Some of the funny fairy tale characters everyone loves to see. It debuted in the parade a couple years ago and hopes to encourage a love of reading at an early age, which is really wonderful.
And it features a big red chair with a stack of books, and every night a different school teacher gets a chance to sit in that chair. Several students ride along, of course. Tonight's school teacher is Lisa Hartman from Anderson Elementary. Target's Ready, Sit, Read program has donated more than $1 million worth of books to schools all across the nation.
Now, to tie in with the reading theme, there's also some of your favorite storybook characters, and this group includes Little Red Riding Hood, the Big Bad Wolf.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, because if you got Little Red Riding Hood, of course, you've got
the Big Bad Wolf.
The Big Bad Wolf. 3 Little Pigs, 3 Little Bears, Goldilocks,
Robin Hood.
And then my favorite.
I know your favorite, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes is in that somewhere.
Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. These are new costumes this year, converted to children's costumes to give the kids, more kids, a chance to participate, which is a wonderful idea.
Let's see if we can find some of those characters.
Let's try to find
somewhere. They're right there behind. Starting to peek around the corner. Oh, look at this, another doodle bug. By the way, here's a TCF fun fact for you. There are 207 costume characters in the parade, plus 30 band members, 35 choir members, 26 banner pushers, and 13 float drivers with dressing and lighting support for more than 350 people to help out each night. And of course, there are 4 or 5 doodle bugs in the thing.
Yeah, this is a Nutcracker doodle bug, and it's presented by M&I Bank. Now, this twirling character can spin in a circle so that the crowd can see him from all angles, sort of like Holidazzle. The Nutcracker has been part of the parade since it began 13 years ago, and this guy has done a lot of spinning over the years. And here's another TCF Holidazzle fun fact. By the end of this season, there will have been 325 Holidazzle parades.
You think the person inside the Holidazzle or Howiedazzle or even the
Gets
Nutcracker,
dizzy?
yeah,
I was
spinning
wondering
around all
about
the time?
that.
Our next float is the Hansel and Gretel float, presented by the Star Tribune. It showcases the mean old witch in her colorful candy house. The witch gets to ride on the float while Hansel and Gretel walk along, dropping their breadcrumbs on the way. And a catchy country-themed song accompanies this float, along with a scent machine that creates the smell of, guess what? You see right there.
Gingerbread?
Right.
Maybe we can smell it. Can you smell anything from our location?
Gingerbread. Ooh, look at this ugly witch. That is a nasty-looking witch.
Don't let her hear you say that. She might
I'll wait for her to get
into
past
the
us.
oven.
How did that thing end? Did they actually
pushed
make
her.
cookies?
They pushed her into the oven.
She ended up in the oven,
She ended
didn't
up
she?
in the oven, yes.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let's go back and check in with Mark Rosen, who is sitting, of course, in the hot seats grandstand, keeping himself warm with a little hot toddy.
You got it, Amelia. I found the perfect place to enjoy the TCF Holidazzle right here in the hot seats with a cup of cider, a cup of hot chocolate, and with Mark Foster from TCF. And how do you get these beautiful seats here, Mark?
Well, first of all, Mark, this is the 4th year of the TCF title sponsorship. We're very, very proud to be part of TCF Holidazzle. A great way to see it, as you said, right here in the hot seats. Spend $150 downtown Minneapolis. Take your receipts up to the TCF Bank on the Skyway level in the IDS building. Show your receipts. You get 2 free hot seat tickets. The more you spend, the more free tickets you get.
You can't beat that. You also have a very bright collector's pin you're wearing today, which a lot of the people are wearing here tonight.
Exactly. Brand new to TCF Holidazzle. These commemorative pins, $5 a piece, and you can buy them up and down the street here on Nicollet Mall.
You're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. Your family's here, and have a great time.
We're having a wonderful time. And don't forget, tomorrow night, TCF giving away a free house along with Keyland Homes, 6 o'clock tomorrow night right here on the mall.
Look forward to that. Thanks, Mark. Back to Don and Amelia. I'm going to enjoy this cup of cider.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Rosie has those hot seats installed at his house. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
I could say something about a hot seat.
Now, don't go away. We'll be right back with many more characters and floats from the TCF Holidazzle Parade.
All right, welcome back to WCCO 4 TV's live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. Up next is the choir float presented by WCCO Radio. And this is called The Sounds of the Season because it features a different choir from the community every parade. This evening, the Minnesota Chorale is singing. The chorale has 250 members.
Yeah.
And 30 are singing tonight, all dressed up in lighted robes. We should be able to hear them pretty soon. The conductor tonight is Kathy Salzman-Romy, and they're going to be singing traditional Christmas carols for Holidazzle. I can hear them now, can you?
Yes.
You know what, John? There have been wedding engagements during the Holidazzle Parade, and back in 1996, a couple got married right before the parade, and they celebrated the big event by being the grand marshals that same evening.
Did you ever think that you would get married at a Holidazzle Parade?
I think it would be fun.
Well, you're already married.
Well, the next time I get... I'm only kidding.
Our thanks to WCCO Radio for sponsoring this float every year, giving voice to the great chorale singers around the state of Minnesota. And everybody gets a chance to be heard by these huge crowds. And 500,000 people will come down to hear these people sing and watch this Holidazzle Parade every year.
Yeah, and the busiest streets are there between 7th and 9th on Nicollet.
Now here's one of the most brightly lighted floats in the parade. It is Captain Hook and his awful crew. On the float, you'll see Peter Pan trying to rescue poor Wendy from the clutches of mean old Hook. This float was designed to look like a huge pirate ship. It measures 30 feet long. This is a big favorite. It's been in the parade since 1993.
And here's another TCF fun fact. Since the parade started in 1992, there have been more than 20 different floats designed, and they're always looking for new ideas to make the parade exciting.
I think the fish are a new idea this year.
Yes, they are.
Well, one of the things that is not new, and it should not be new because you should not ever tamper with a great legend like the story of Peter Pan and Captain Hook. If you remember how the story went, one of the things that was most frightening was a crocodile.
Yes.
And the crocodile swallowed a clock.
A clock, okay.
And you could hear the ticking of the clock. You always knew where the crocodile was and when the crocodile was approaching, when danger was approaching. So always following this giant ship by Captain Hook is that crocodile. All right, now here's
Oh, hey,
I want to grow
it's
up
your
to be a light.
favorite. It's the Holiday Lights on Parade presented by XL Energy, and these were newly designed last year.
I see that.
Yeah, the light bulbs have always been a popular unit in the parade, and now they're bigger and better than ever.
And they got big legs.
These are actually huge inflatables, and they bring an innovative new look to the holiday event. Each bulb stands 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and volunteers are inside each of the colorful bulbs. And there are little holes in the front there so they can twinkle their way down Nicollet Mall.
You know, I wonder this. I wonder if one goes out, do they all go out? That always happens to me.
It happens, it does.
Yeah.
And if you twist one, do they all start blinking?
Yes. See what I'm telling you about? They got new kind of padded legs on
I
the
bet
thing.
those are warmer.
That might be true. They're jumping up and down now.
They're happy.
They know we're talking about them.
Didn't somebody send you
The original design artwork for what the float of the lights should look like. And they put it on a piece of board and sent it to me. And I had that framed in my house, yeah, by the original designer of the original float 13 years ago. I wonder if you're given any instructions. I don't know this, but when you say, I'm going to be a light, is there anything I should do or shouldn't do when I walk down the street? I mean,
I bet they say bounce around because they all seem to be doing the same thing and
okay, so
bending.
I mean, you could do the twist if you wanted to.
That's
for
right.
instance.
I think that's what they probably tell them.
Hey, look who's coming now. It's Marshall Field's Santa Bear family. This year, it's Santa Bear's 20th anniversary. To celebrate, Santa Bear and his wife, who has a name, is hitting the slopes on the Alpine Adventure with their new St. Bernard dog. And that's not somebody
real
dressed up
dog.
in a St. Bernard dog outfit. And they're riding in an antique sleigh pulled by 2 horses.
2 real horses.
Absolutely. So do not be mistaken here. Well, actually 1 horse.
Okay, 1 horse.
I was kidding you about the 2 horses. I meant the 2 Santa Bears. All right,
What
here's
is
a test
Mrs.
question
Santa
for
Bear?
I was going to ask you
What
that.
is her name? Berry Bear? What is it? I forget.
Amelia. See, and you would think you would know that.
The bear's name is Amelia? He's such a... He doesn't know the name of the bear, so now he's making it up. Okay, Santa's
I had you go in there for a minute, though, didn't I?
You did. Santa's Workshop Float is next in line, presented by Metro Transit. And this year, TCF Holidazzle and Metro Transit are offering free bus and light rail rides to and from the parade on Saturday, December 11th. Now, this unit features 20 jingle elves in bright green and red costumes. And the float features huge presents with toys to bring to kids for Christmas. It was designed by local artist Jack Barkla and constructed by Michael Murnane from Foot Candles. We met him earlier in the pre-show behind-the-scenes story that we had.
These are called jingle elves, and I think that they're given instructions to just be as crazy as you can be.
Which is fun. Did you know that in 1996, the Holidazzle Parade traveled to Chicago for a special Marshall Fields event there? And can you imagine the huge effort that went into transferring all those floats and costumes?
Lisa Dindorf told me from the Downtown Council the other day that people come in from all over the world to see this parade.
You know what it reminds me of? The parade at Disney World, the
Yes.
Electric Light Parade. And it's fantastic. It's a nice tradition, too. I bet all these families come out here every year.
Yeah, this parade float has a little bit of a rock and roll theme. Now Dennis Doda is standing by in the Skyway, warm and toasty as the parade moves beneath him.
Warm and toasty, and I'm looking with great anticipation down the street because there's one special guest that we always want to see coming up the Holidazzle route, always out in the Holidazzle Parade. One guy who has the rapt attention of all children. Who are we looking for in this parade right here?
Santa.
This is Nicole. Nicole, have you already got a list ready for Santa?
Yes, I do.
You do? Are you going to mail it or are you going to email it this year?
I'm probably going to put it by his cookies and milk.
Is that right? Okay, then he'll see it when he comes, because he's magic. He can still take care of that list, right? And who is up here?
Chastine.
Jesse, even big kids can believe in Santa, can't they?
Chastine.
Chastine, thank you, Chastine. Now, see, Santa would get that name right. I'm probably on the naughty list now for not doing that. Do you have a list also for Santa?
Yes, I do.
I thought so. Well, he's coming down the street here, so we'll send him warm wishes, and you can help Nicole then with her email list. Back to you. All the kids are up here in the Skyway watching for Santa. Don and Amelia?
All right, thanks, Dennis. Be sure not to go away because Santa Claus is coming to town when we return.
Welcome back. This is WCCO TV's live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. And get ready, because the big guy is about to arrive.
And leading the way for Santa is a cast of snowflakes and other fun snow people. Santa always likes to make a grand entrance.
The big snowflakes is what R.T.
Mayor
Ryback
Ryback
would
was
like to be. And why not? Because he's, what, the biggest star in
Yeah,
Minneapolis.
and you know, I think he has some connections. He'd be able to do that.
Should probably
Wouldn't have
know
a problem.
someone.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus float is always presented by Marshall Fields. And, of course, it is the grandest float of them all. It's guided by none other than Rudolph and his 8 fellow reindeer. They're all lighted up, pulling jolly old St. Nick in that magnificent sleigh.
I got to meet Santa last year.
Did you?
Nice man.
Did you? What's his wife's name?
Mrs. Claus. No matter what, Santa Claus always has time in his busy schedule to make an appearance at the TCF Holidazzle Parade.
Can you imagine the thrill going through the minds and hearts of the children watching? What are your kids doing right now, watching from the windows, and they see Santa Claus?
They're making a list.
I bet they are.
They're upset they didn't bring the list with them, I'm sure.
They're not going to be like Nicole and email it to them, though, right? What a great finale to a great parade. As Santa winds his way down the mall, we'll take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back. Well, that wraps up our live coverage of the 13th annual TCF Holidazzle Parade.
This is a shot from our Skyway camera as the final float with Santa Claus on board the sleigh and the Starlight Kids move on down Nicollet Mall. Don't forget, you have 19 more chances to see the parade between now and December 23rd. And if you do plan on coming down, get here early. Do some shopping or dining, and don't forget to visit us at our WCCO TV weather window fireplace.
You can't miss our building. It's beautifully decorated for the holidays, so be sure to stop by and say hi.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.